Gary, round 10 against Frankston, a 31-point win. What did you make of it? Is it a case of just maybe take the 4 points and move on, as they say?
Yeah, it's probably pretty right, Sam. A win's a win. We had to arrest, obviously, the fact that we'd lost our last two. Box Hill have shown that they're obviously a very good side, and of course then Sandringham at home by 7 points. So for us to stay in touch with the top four is pretty important. And look, we've probably taken some better sides down there to Frankston and actually failed to win. So we'll certainly take that, and we'll try and move on as quickly as we can from yesterday, obviously against Essendon this Saturday. So we'll take the win, and a big game this week against Essendon at home.
Absolutely. There probably wasn't too many highlights of the game, as we've said. The two keys to victory were probably Khan Herituku with his 5 goals against his former side, and Nathan Batsanis yet again, 34 possessions and 2 goals.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I thought Damien Mercedes was very good for us too before he went off with a little bit of a knock. So I think him being able to set up some play across half-back from a rebounding point of view was pretty important. And look, at times it fluctuated between what we did really, really well and what we intend to do better. And obviously we allowed Frankston to kick their highest score for the season, being 80 points. So again, it's an area that we've got to address. We can talk about team defence. Does the ball actually spend a short amount of time inside our forward 50? And just on that, it was pleasing to see us kick 18-3. So that was a standout in relation to accuracy. So we're trying to address a lot of things and trying to address them really quickly. And we're obviously still having issues that we've got guys pulling out extremely late. We had Johnny McKenzie and Huey Sandilands on Thursday night, and then we had Sam O'Sullivan on Saturday afternoon. So we just can't seem to get any consistency nor stability at the minute. But it keeps exposing guys. And I was really pleased with Mac Rivette and also 2 Kate Answorth performance as well. So there's 2 young boys that are only really 19 years old. So if we can keep introducing those guys, keep getting a bit of experience, it looks pretty good for the future.
And another familiar face in Mark Towson has sent through a question as part of Ask Ezzy. He says that we've had a horrendous run with injury and also a number of players depart the club for various reasons. Is there likely to be any additions to the playing list before that June 30 deadline coming up?
Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. We've always tried to be really diligent about what we're doing, and as you said, June 30 is the cut-off point. And actually I did have a chance to speak to a prospective recruit down at Frankston on Sunday. He doesn't play for Frankston or anything like that, so just was a convenient meeting point. But again, they're very loath to leave their clubs halfway through the season, and they're only really going to do that if they think that their home club is potentially not in a mode of being able to participate in finals. So look, we've had a couple of kids that have come here over the last 8 years, but it hasn't really worked out. And again, if there's anyone out there, I know Frankston put it on Facebook last week, so maybe we appeal to any players that want to come and have a little bit of a crack. So how do you, Mark, you're the man, you can be my recruiter.
You love that. So Essendon next. Another huge test, very strong opposition. They're coming off a bye, and we're coming off a 6-day break and about to enter our bye. So what's your thoughts on what will be taking place leading into this week against Essendon?
Yeah, well, we'll evaluate what we get back this week, obviously. Those guys that I mentioned, Mackenzie, Sam O'Sullivan, Huey Sandilands, we'll assess them tonight. We'll have a very short recovery session tonight, small debrief, and then we'll hook into training tomorrow and Thursday. It's really about refresh, reinvigorate, and of course really knowing that if we can get a win this week, it does give us a good little break, as you said, with the bye coming up. That's around about the halfway point of the season. We would have had 2 byes in the first 12 weeks, which I think is interesting to see where our byes have been. Round 1 doesn't do anyone any, I don't think, service at all in relation to having a bye. I know people have to have it, but certainly I would prefer a better break than that. And of course then we come back after the bye against Casey on the following Sunday, so there'll be some work to do, but really it's about winning this week, seeing what we then have to do with some time off.
Well, Gary, short and sharp on Borough TV this week, but thanks again for your time.
Good on you, Sam.